For those just starting out, to those who built their reputation in the detail industry, navigating the course is a daily grind. This is Play-by-Play with industry professionals, tackling topics and offering tips to help improve your game plan. Now, here's your play-by-play.
What's up, everybody? Dustin Jackson here with your lunch break edition of Play-by-Play, brought to you by Detailed Bookie. And of course, I got my crew here with me.
How's it going? I'm Ryan with Detailed Bookie, man, sales manager.
Hey guys, I'm Lexi Armentrout, the solutions specialist.
Software solutions specialist, and that's a hell of a title. I need a title like that. Listen, so we want to kind of go back to talk about what we want to go back and talk about a little bit about what we did last week, and then what you can expect to hear from us this week. So we talked to Daryl Lyons about Southern Detailers Conference and had a really great show. But this week we want to kind of take it back a bit. We want to explain our story, where we're coming from, and why we're doing this, what we're actually doing here, and what we want to try, the message we want to try to get out.
Yeah, and we're going to dive in a little bit deeper and talk about, everything you can expect from the show. But let's start with how we picked the name. Ryan, let's walk them through how we decided to pick Lunch Break Play-by-Play.
Well, I mean, you guys figured it out with bookies. We like sports, and lunch break, we like to eat.
Yeah, obviously you haven't missed a meal, Ryan. So, no, seriously, Detailed Bookie came about when we were thinking about the name. We were really struggling. I mean, we are a software company, but we're a detail company first. And I was thinking about what the software actually done for our business, and it books jobs. That's where inevitably that's where it came from, was the fact that we're booking jobs, we're managing money, we're managing jobs for people, and that's what it is. And then play-by-play just goes right in hand with that, and we want to give you the play-by-play on topics that we're discussing, so it just works out.
And I remember we sat down to try to figure out when will be a good time. We wanted to make sure that they could tune into the other good podcasts that are out there. That's got some great information. And we decided to do Lunch Break because we figured you detailers were just like us and scrolled through social media when you're on your lunch break. So we figured, we'd kill two birds with one stone.
Yeah, I mean, what beats lunch break? Everybody has a moment to take, and we try to talk to detailers every day. I know how busy I am, and everybody can usually take a 30 minutes and stop. And we figured if we had an opportunity to get out in front of you guys, then that would be the best time.
Hey, and everybody, maybe comment what you're eating for lunch today, because today we're going to have some sushi from Rock and Roll Sushi, and I'm so excited.
That's the best part, Ryan. I know you agree. no, but seriously, and it's not all about us eating up here. I mean, it is lunch break. We're glad that food's here, but we wanted to do a little something special for all the local businesses around here. We're a local business in a small town, and restaurants were hit very hard with COVID.
Absolutely.
Along with a lot of other businesses, but they were hit especially hard.
Right.
And so we wanted to give them an opportunity to use our platform to help grow their business and give them a shout out. So we've asked these local restaurants to sponsor us and bring in lunch, and so we're going to tell you all about it, tell you what's great. Some of them are chains around the Southeast. I think Rock and Roll Sushi.
Absolutely.
So,
all around the Southeast.
Ton of places too, especially being right here on the bay. We're gonna get some good seafood in here. I'm ready for some crab balls.
I know, right? I know. It's just, and it's awesome. It's a great time for us to give these guys some time to shine, and we look forward to that.
And it's not just about the food. I mean, we're also going to be touching in on some software. I think we got some pretty big plans for the next coming up couple months of podcasts.
Yeah, we do.
Speaking to some folks about training different training methods and what they're doing in their lives. So it's going to be really cool, man. We're going to keep.
I mean, ultimately, our goal for this podcast is to be able to talk about things, play by play as they're going on in the industry, from software to tools to techniques to conferences and training courses. I mean, we really want to be a platform to be able to come here and know what's going on in the detailing industry.
Yeah. And the thing is it's not just us pushing stuff down y'all's throat. We want to interact. We want to hear from you guys. We want to bring up topics that are popular in the industry that are relevant right now, and elaborate on those. Bring in guests that can help us understand as detailers first how that affects the industry. How can that help us?
Well, there's a lot of great tools out there, including software, and you guys do a little bit of you've had training sessions here at EZN.
Yeah, we have one every year. Rupes is nice enough to come out on site and do a training event for my guys. But last year we did something really special, and we invited all of the local detailers around here to come out and enjoy this training with us. And that, it helps create our networking. And that's something that software's kind of brought us all together too. So it was a really cool event. Rupes does a great job. And, just like that session right there, we want this podcast to be that platform that we can continue to help other detailers and help everybody grow.
And just like the lunch that we had that day, I will also continue to try to sell software during this lunch break as well.
That's right. At the end of the day, we are a software company too. And so we know that it's going to change you guys' lives that are using the software. We see it every single day, and it's exciting. I know that Ryan's getting messages all the time of what it's done for their companies and all, and it's fun to hear.
Oh man, I love when they tell me they have to hire employees. That's the best. I mean, that is scaling it up. And when it happens within 3 to 6 months of being on the software, there's a direct correlation. They'll tell you, it's all the software, but it's their hard work they put in before.
It really is. And they're quick to give us all the credit, but we know that there's a lot of hard work that goes on the back end of it. But the organization and to be able to see it, the dashboard, the new dashboard we just rolled out. I mean, it really shows a lot of metrics there that show you your progress and show you your growth. And that's really, really cool.
Well, we're talking about growth here. Dustin, we're talking about how we're a software company, but we became a software company, not necessarily that was our goal, but it was more out of necessity. Why don't you talk us about your story?
Yeah, it was. I mean, when we say we're a detail company first, we're a detail company first. That's the reason that the software company exists. And when we started back in 2012, it was just myself and a helper, and started small and just, really grew from there. But when we made this big step, and I think it was back in 2016, and we were really growing exponentially, our business couldn't keep up with our detailing abilities. We were lacking in our organization. We were lacking in our professional look. So we built a software. I mean, we tried Google Calendars. We tried Facebook Messenger when they had this new scheduling app. They had just unrolled it. And we tried a couple other things, and everything was just off the mark. And so we went in and built what we needed. And that's how Detailed Bookie was created.
There was no detailing app back then.
No, there wasn't. When we started this, I mean, and we looked because we knew the undertaking that that was going to take place. And so I would have much rather bought something or leased something.
Would have been a lot less
headache. And of course it wouldn't have put us where we're at today. So, I'm pretty thankful for that. But absolutely, there was nothing out there, and there continued to be nothing out there for the years while we built and then realized how great it was, because it was only built to run my shop. I mean, we didn't come up with this idea that we're going to create software for all detailers. We came up with an idea to create a software for us. And then it ran so good, and we saw so much success with it. We wanted to bring that out and show and make it available to other detailers.
And in addition to being a detailer, Dustin, I would say you're more of a businessman first, before detailing. How long have you been an entrepreneur?
So I think it's called a serial entrepreneur. That's what they call it. So as long as I can remember, I've always felt the need to run business, and it's natural to me. It's what feels right. It's what makes me happy. So, I mean, for a long time, I had my first business license when I was 14 years old, and it's in my office. And so it was a paintball field. So it's a completely different line of business. And I've owned a lot of business in between then and now. But, at the end of the day, detailing, you got to know how to run a business to run a detail shop.
Paintballing pay the bills? I mean, how were you doing all right with that? There's a story out there that you actually made more money than your stepdad at one point in time. At 14.
He tells that story. And the funny thing is, so it was a Saturday morning. I'll set the stage for you. It was a Saturday morning, and the local fire departments had come and rented out my paintball field and played all day. And I was at the kitchen table with my cash box in front of me, and I was 14 years old, and I'm counting out all this cash. And he comes up to me and he said, well, how well did you do today? and it was like $2,800 or something. And he's like, I can't believe you've made more money in one day than I've made all week. This is unbelievable. My 14-year-old son is making more money than me. And then I told him to get out of my house. Awesome. No, but on a serious note, I mean, it's, if you own a detail shop and you're not running it as a business, then you're going to struggle to gain traction and grow and profit, because it has to be run as a business. It's just like anything else. Yep. It's no different than anything else you do. Business first, sales second, and then operations third. So.
For detailers, what piece of advice, you got one piece of advice to give a detailer that's brand new, what would you say?
Branding. Establish your foothold in the market by establishing who you are. Always overachieve. Always, do more than you promise. Don't be afraid to swallow your pride. You're going to do that a lot in detailing. Detailing is, subject to that person, and what they think is clean and what you think is clean may be two different things, but you got to be quick to realize that you don't have, you got to prove it to them regardless. Yes. They don't have to prove anything to you. They're the one writing the check. Right. So, so you have to be quick to swallow your pride and say, hey, you know what, maybe I disagree, but, and don't say that out loud. You can do that internally, but go fix the problem. Go make them happy, because happy customers they always bring more, but pissed customers will make more leave. I can assure you.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, and we see a lot of people asking in the detailing groups, how hard is it to start up a business? What does it take? Does it take a lot of money to get a detailing business off the ground?
So like money, no. It takes a lot of, will and want to work. But I mean, you can start the business fairly cheap. There's a ton of, there's always a new tool, a new chemical out there, somebody promising you that you need to use this or trying to sell you on that. And that's just not the case. You can start minimally, and a lot of people swear you need a good location, but the location we're sitting in right now is our shop. There's a road 1,000 feet away that nobody knows that we detail about here. If you just drove by, if you don't know we detail, you wouldn't know that this is a detail shop. So location doesn't matter. And by the way, we're set to do $1 million in detail this year. So I think locations worked out okay. Right. But so location is, it helps if you don't have any kind of following. But with a lot of detailers, these guys are doing it on the side, or they're doing it for their friends first. So they kind of built that following before they take the leap. But to answer your question, you can start a detail shop or a detailing company with minimal amount of money, but you better have some work ethic. You better be ready to do some work.
Right on, man. Well, that sounds like pretty, you make it sound so easy,
Yeah,
I'm sure it's a little bit more.
Well, that's like, 10 years summed up into 5 minutes.
Right.
So of course it sounds easy. Look, I feel like I'm in the hot seat. So was it Ryan? What brought you to this table? What makes you, gives you your place here?
Sure, man. Well, I think first and foremost, I'm a people person. You know, I've been in the service industry. 10 years bartending and waiting tables. I've worked at a credit union for 5 years doing loan processing and loan officer. I sold 401k plans to small businesses, and all of those contributed. I think the time that I spent at the adult novelty store, the G Spot, that really gave me my best one-on-one.
I was really hoping you did not leave that part out, by the way.
Really tuned into your customer service, right?
So that's where my customer service thrived. But it's just been a constant. It's always dealing with the public, and I just enjoy helping people out. And,
Ryan, I know the answer to this question, but I feel like it's very important to ask. Here at Detail Bookie, there's something that you celebrate more than anything, and it's more than a sell. So we really celebrate these companies' growth. So tell us how that happens for you on a daily basis when you come bragging about these guys.
Well, I get to brag. I mean, not only do I get to brag, but I get to annoy everybody in the building by ringing a cowbell.
Which is the best part, by the way. That's the best part of everything.
Oh, I love it. I mean, because we're celebrating these guys coming on, and literally the rate of people leaving the software once they've used it is near zero. I mean, literally these guys are on it, and they're going to stay with it.
You know that it works. You know that it's going to help their business. I mean, it's something to celebrate.
And I'm literally getting called and messages all the time, man. You can't believe, look at this. And I went to sleep and I woke up and I had 3 jobs booked with deposits paid, and I even talked to these people. I'm booked out for 2 months in advance. And customers love the notifications.
It's really cool that they share their story with you. It's cool that that you're that personal. You think about how personable, like I can't think of the last sales rep that's called me and that I've called them back and be like, oh, dude, I made 1,000 copies on your printer. But you're that personable with them that they feel comfortable to shoot you a message and say, hey, man, I got 3 new estimates overnight, or I got 3 book jobs or whatever.
Or just them sending you pictures of their work. I mean, you come to my office all the time and be like, Lexi, check this out, what they're doing. I mean, they are killing the game out here. They're making this work for them, and they are here to show up and show out.
It's really, really cool, man. And I love the excitement. That's something that you guys, we all kind of have and we have in common is our willingness to help and our want to help others. And it really shows through when Ryan's running through there, ringing the bell, or when he's doing a walkthrough after someone's signed up and he just come down. I mean, literally 10 minutes ago, he's pumped about this great walkthrough that this customer really understands and they really get.
Shout out to Shine Time, by the way. Their crew is going to be listening to the podcast.
Yeah. Speaking of shout outs, Stanley deserves one.
With
Flawless Touch. He sent me some messages. I think it was yesterday afternoon. And he's like, dude, are these numbers real on the dashboard? And I'm like, of course they are. He's like, I am set to have the best month, the best year ever. And he was just so thankful and so positive. And man, it really helps when you talk about all the hard work that goes into things that we do and all, because it's not always easy. But it really makes it all worthwhile.
And we're still talking about $49 a month,
right?
Literally. It just is a no-brainer.
It is. So, Lexi, okay. I mean, we've heard from myself, we've heard from Ryan. Lexi, what brings you to this table, and more importantly, to Detail Bookie, and where do you feel like your fit and your experience shows through?
Yeah, well, in the past 12 years, I've done sales, right? Mm-hmm. But I feel like with Detail Bookie, I get to really focus on solutions. I mean, I tried to solution sell for the past 12 years, from working for AT&T, for working for a printer manufacturer, from several different assets of the business, working straight with business to business. I mean, ultimately, I've been solving problems. Customers tell me, hey, I'm struggling with this area. What do you think could help me be able to solve that? And that's exactly what I do here at Detail Bookie. Yeah. I talk to these detailers and I'm going, hey, this is the conversation that's occurring. Are you experiencing these problems? Tell me your current process. Is there anything that if you could flip a switch to change it, what would that be? Right. And how can we help you solve that? And that's the thing is, we want to dive in and be able to understand, can we really help them solve a problem? Yeah. So that's been in my career. That's been the one thing I've really been searching for, is to find a place where I can feel like I'm helping people. And that's exactly what we do here at Detail Bookie. We're not selling software to make sales, to make money. We're selling software to help solve problems and to help small businesses grow their businesses. And we're a part of that story. And we get to celebrate that with you guys every week over and over. Because Ryan, I mean, you and I look at these accounts and we talk about their progress, and we're having conversations with these guys to follow up with them and ask them how we can help make their business better.
And that sounds so cliche. Like it sounds oh, we want to, we're not here to sell you software. We're here to solve your problems. But the reality is that's the case. And I think detailers can understand that, because no one was really coming after the market to help detailers anyway. It's not like they have 1,000 people calling them a day trying to sell them a product. When we get in touch with them, we truly want to hear what they have to say and see if what we have is a good fit for them. We know that it is. If they are literally detailing for a business, we know that it's going to work for them. But you're absolutely right, and that is not lip service. That is truly the mindset of all of us here, is to solve their problems and hope and show them that we're a good fit for them.
And I think we see the bigger picture that, because nothing has been tailored to detailers like, software, and now that software is a part of this.
Yes.
These guys that don't see themselves as professionals, even though they might run a business, that the addition of software absolutely ups the professionalism.
Yeah,
sure it does.
With our pricing structure, you're giving those consistent quotes that literally, that is making it, standardizing the industry that before was completely all over the place.
Well, and that's exactly the mindset that I had when I said, okay, we've got to take this to market, is because I saw the frustration when I was giving out prices here locally. And all the other shops were, and you would hear their prices, and we were so all over the board, and customers couldn't compare apples to apples because there was no way to do that. And you're incorrect if you think that there wasn't a systematic approach to giving prices on detailing wouldn't work. And there's still some of that in the industry, that thought process that we can't give prices out based on vehicle size and condition. And it's just an incorrect mindset. And, and we're proving that every single day.
Absolutely. Well, and that's part of that conversation, right? Is we don't come at you saying, hey, we know how to run your business. The way you're doing it is not the right way. Right. We say, hey, tell me how you run your business. Mm-hmm. Let me find out where your struggles are. Are there any areas that you know of right now that are causing you issues? Are you having problems with scheduling? Are you having problems with follow-up? I mean, those are known issues that we know how to solve on multiple different levels, whether you're a one-man shop, whether you've got 12 guys in your shop.
I know Ryan likes to tell this story, the estimate follow-ups. This is like his claim to fame. So I got to hear it because I know everybody likes to hear it.
Yes, I do too.
Tell us about your estimate follow-ups.
We've got the strongest estimate follow-up game in
this
the
is
industry.
Awesome.
I mean, I literally love it. And you can see it in action as it comes through.
Yes.
We try to put some personality into it. So the first couple texts you get, hey, you got an estimate, click here, go ahead and book, schedule your job, right? Pretty standard. Day 5, you get a phone call from the manager or sales manager, whoever you need, that person,
shop owner, whoever it is,
and they get a text message letting them know, call this customer. It's been 5 days unbooked job. Cool. Still, maybe they go to voicemail, but then they start getting a little funny, man. Personality comes in. Day 10, you get that, hey, still riding dirty? Well, come check us out. Right. We want to get you cleaned up.
And these are just text messages going to a customer. So let's set the stage for you. You're a detailer. You're at the shop. Somebody shows up, says, give me a price on my, whatever. I don't know, Chevrolet Tahoe, whatever. And so you go out there and you give them a price, you put them in their system, and then that customer drives off. Normal workflow for a detailer is you do not hear back from that customer. You do not contact that customer unless they show up for a detail. That's it. With our system that goes into a chain of notifications that automatically goes out and reminds them, right?
Right. And it's very personalized. Don't think that it's just like robotic. I mean, it pulls their names and their type of vehicle. So it's very specific to that customer.
Absolutely.
And then, just from the verbiage you guys use, the actual copy, I mean, it's very personal.
Well, we're personable people and it's not this robot that's sending out these responses. You want it to feel like it's organic and coming from your shop. Like if it was something you were to just type up and text out, also it conveniently includes a booking link so they can go in there and, you know what, man, let's go ahead and book this job. Maybe they forgot about it. Maybe they had waited or talked to their significant other and finally made the decision, but it allows them to quickly rebook that job.
Well, life happens. I mean, how many times do we go online shopping or we call someplace to get a price and then we forget? So it's that constantly being there and being a reminder, but also not being a nuisance.
And that's where day 17 comes in. And I resonate. Yeah, this one resonates with me. It really does. Your estimate has abandonment issues and it misses you, and so use this promo code to get 10% off.
Right.
And that's the one I love watching happen because you watch them get through our notifications, you can always see a log of all the notifications each customer gets. And you see a log where they receive that 17-day message. Then you see the next one where they're logging into their customer profile.
You can follow that workflow. Yeah. And there's nothing more addictive than when you see these notifications going out and then you see them log in and then you see a deposit paid and you can literally just feel like you're in the living room with this person.
You feel like you're there in the moment with them.
And that's what makes it cool. This podcast we wanted to show you guys who we are. That's what this is all about. And you can see it right here. The passion that's involved in this thing. And it's not just this, we're not I wasn't some millionaire that needed a hobby to do on the side to come up with a software company. Literally, we're a detail business. We're sitting in my shop and my guys are waiting a few minutes outside the door so they can go back to detailing. And we needed a solution for the problem. And our solution was Detail Bookie. And that's what brought us here. So,
and it was over 3 years of, human intelligence, building this software
and problem solving and identifying areas.
And it's ongoing. It's ongoing. We're adding, we're building every single day. We have you guys know that the board that we have of all the new features that are coming that are just, we're just checking them off the list. Mitch, our developer, he does a fantastic job.
Yes, he does.
And so this is 3 years in the making, but future is endless with this thing. And so if you get on board, when you come on board, just know that the software you have today is not going to be the software that you have tomorrow at the end of the year and all. It's just going to get better.
Absolutely. You guys hungry?
Dude, I've worked up an appetite. All this talk and looking at Ryan makes me hungry.
And I know Dustin loves sushi. He's gonna try that raw roll,
right?
Yeah, his favorite. So I can't wait to see him eat.
So,
well, let's talk about who we've got on the menu today. You know, we want to give a big shout out to Rock and Roll Sushi in Saraland, Alabama. They sponsored us today, and so they sent us out. We've got the Good Time Roll, the Heart Roll, and the Chili Pepper Roll. And they also included some crispy wontons for us. So I just wanted to, again, shout out to them for Rock and Roll Sushi in Saraland. It's a franchise that actually started right down the road in Mobile. And for you guys that aren't familiar with the area, that's only about a 15-minute drive. Now they've got locations all over the Southeast. And if you're a rock and roll fan, it's kind of dining experience that you won't want to miss.
It's really awesome. Those are good personal friends of ours, and they've done a fantastic job. I mean, you can look at this food and it looks absolutely delicious. And to know that we can drive just a few minutes down the road here in Saraland and get this kind of sushi is really cool. I mean, they've done a great job. Yeah,
and they're located in Saraland at 940 Industrial Parkway. And you can always give them a call and find out more information at 251-308-2158, or you can go to their Facebook page. And like I said, they are a franchise, so you could always see if there's one in your area. But I definitely recommend trying it out. When they say rock and roll sushi, they really bring music and food together in a fun way.
They really have. You go into their store. Have you ever been there?
Oh man, I love the Bob Marley roll.
Oh yeah,
I like looks Bama like your kind of store. Like I don't know why, but it looks like your kind of store.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, G-Spot, yes, but rock and roll sushi definitely.
Rock and roll sushi.
Hey, the one rock and roll sushi in Mobile is right across the street from G-Spot.
All right, so which one are y'all going to try? Which one are you going to dive into?
I'm going to let you guys go first, and then I'm going to find something here.
I'm going to just pick it up with my fingers.
Oh, you're going to pick it up with your finger?
Yeah, I want to try this guy. This guy looks...
Will you hand me some chopsticks? I'll do it with the chopsticks and use my manners.
So I'm going to try this out. What is this?
That's the crispy wonton roll. So let me tell you what's in there.
Oh, there's stuff in here.
Yeah, it's stuffed with crab meat and cream cheese. It's also got some green onions, some jalapeno, and that's a head.
Did you say creamed onions? Would this be a bad time? To mention that I'm allergic to onions?
Oh, that would be a bad. Yeah,
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Gonna give me a heart attack over here, Dustin.
My throat's swelling.
They call that the headbanger sauce, which I thought was a really cool. It's a headbanger dip that you dip the.
What is this right here?
We're gonna have a discussion with Julia later
about what's looks on the like menu the good time
and ingredients.
Ryan.
The good time roll?
I think so.
I bet it. Are you doing this with?
Is that the one with the crunchy flakes? Okay, so that one is actually the chili pepper.
All right, talk to us, Ryan. Hey, Ryan, give us a little bit more of your backstory right now.
That's good.
Is it spicy?
Yeah.
Yeah, got a little heat, little kick. All right, I'm gonna try the one with the avocado.
Okay, and there was no so the sushi's raw in here, right? That's the whole premise on it, or no?
Well, no, some of it's got one of them's raw. That right there is definitely raw. You wanted to try that one, I think. Right?
Which one?
That one right there.
You know what? I want the spicy. Is there anything that's spicy?
It's got a jalapeno
right on it.
Hence the jalapeno on top. This one right here. You guys have fancy forks.
There's one right there. Open it.
So just eat the whole thing, huh? Let it rip. Let it rip. Just go.
That one's got some fried on it too. It's got raw on top, and then it's got a piece of shrimp tempura that's actually fried inside of it too.
Wow. Okay.
What you think? I know you're not a big raw fan, so this is real deal.
I don't hate it. It's actually really good. Surprisingly, there's not. I was thinking like fishy taste or something.
Well, you guys know me and ODB. We love it raw. So
what? No, it's really good. Man, this is fantastic. So listen, guys. Thanks everybody for joining us on your lunch break play-by-play. Next week, I know that we're going to start our series on training. We mentioned it earlier. We got some really cool guests coming up. Mike Phillips will be on next week, and we're so excited
to have him. I can't wait to ask him some questions and hear a story and talk to him a little bit more.
Well, when it comes to training, I don't think it gets any better than that. He's with Auto Geek, and he does a ton of training sessions, wrote a lot of books and articles and stuff, and really an asset to the detailing world. And we can't wait to have him on our show. That's exciting.
Absolutely. And speaking of assets to the detailing world, the following week, we're going to have the one and only Greg Masterson from Masterson's Car Care coming on.
That's going to be really cool. That's going to be really cool.
Yeah, look forward to talking to him.
Yeah, Dallas, thanks for everybody for joining us. We're super excited about next week. Thank you for joining Lunch Break Detail Bookie edition of Play by Play. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been your play-by-play. Come back and see us next Friday.